Hey everybody, it's Josh Dorkin here from BiggerPockets.com. I've got with me Mr. John Fedro, the man, the myth, the mobile home maestro. John can be found at BiggerPockets.com/users/John Fedro. And John's got a website which is way too long for me to remember, so why don't you fill us in on it?
5 words, realestatecashflowformula.com.
There you go. He clearly picked the easiest domain out there.
Rolls off the tongue.
It does. What's up, John? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, as always,
Yes,
in this
yes.
twilight hour.
Yes, it's late. If we're giddy, our apologies. So John Fedro is John's a longtime BP member and has been working in the mobile home space for a while now. And maybe you can introduce, I guess, your background, your history, and your expertise a little bit.
Absolutely. History all the way from the beginning. Dropped out of college. I knew I didn't want to work for someone else. Stumbled into real estate by way of a Ron LeGrand book. My roommate had it on the top of his shelf.
Okay.
Like, what is this? You know, I was looking for something else. Before real estate, I was just tired of what I was doing and in the rat race. Picked up this book and read through it cover to cover twice and thought I could really do this. So that's what I did, not knowing anything. I got into some real estate clubs, started marketing, and then sort of tumbled my way into manufactured housing. And that was over 9 years ago.
9 years ago. So you know, you go from the dusty cobweb-covered LeGrand book to manufactured housing. How does that transition happen? Why not single families? Why not, you know, some other strategy? Why? And just to clarify, manufactured housing is mobile homes, correct?
Yeah, mobile homes, manufactured housing.
Is there a reason for the distinction between the two names, or?
In '86, HUD changed a lot of the laws, and they actually stopped calling them mobile homes, and they went right into So it's more of a lingo thing.
Yeah.
Manufactured homes, when they are true manufactured homes, are built after 1976, and they're just up to a higher standard, and they've progressively gotten better and better condition over the years.
So you're saying you're better than me?
That's what I'm always saying. That.
All right. So manufactured mobile homes. What, you know? You got into that about 9 years ago. What was it that got you into that aspect of real estate?
Fear and necessity.
Okay.
I certainly wasn't looking for mobile homes or manufactured homes. In fact, I don't think Ron LeGrand's course even talked anything about it.
Well, that's why I brought it up. I didn't think it did. So.
No, it didn't. So I wasn't doing that. Like, for my first 90 days, I was doing all the same stuff that all the other real estate investors around me were doing, that I learned from the REI meetings, from Ron LeGrand, from the other courses or other things I could just get my hands onto.
Sure.
So I was putting up just the traditional we buy houses, bandit signs, knocking on doors, putting out flyers, and all the leads that were coming in were just garbage leads. You know, I only knew a couple strategies at the time. So who knows if I could have actually closed more deals. Right. But one of the first deals that really caught my eye, there was $35,000 of equity. Nobody was even interested in this home. I found it at a real estate investors meeting, and I looked around the room. I'm like, am I crazy or something? There's a house here, or a manufactured home with land with $35K in equity when the market was hot, and nobody wanted to touch this thing. And that was one of my first deals. And as soon as that happened, I mean, I purchased it, I turned it, I profited, and bing, this light bulb just went off in my head that I could do this. I mean, you know, a kid that was 20 years old was doing this. So
what? Tell us about that deal.
That was a great deal. It was a manufactured home on a piece of land. The gentleman came in. He was actually a seller. It wasn't even an investor that brought it in. He was a seller that was tired of this property. He was marketing it and marketing it. He just couldn't find a buyer. He stood up at the front of the real estate meeting, like a lot of clubs have, and he pitched his property. Yeah. And a minute after he talked, when he sat down, I walked over to him. I introduced myself. We talked. and I picked that deal up subject to the mortgage.
Okay.
So I only had to come out a couple $100 actually just for closing and to give him a little bit to move.
Yeah.
But subject to the existing mortgage, a couple $100 out of pocket. Didn't do any work to it. Turned around and sold it within about 3 weeks by putting it up on the MLS, and it was just a great deal. Just blew my mind.
What'd you clear? How much did you make on that one?
Oh, the 35.
You made the 35. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I was actually so a little bit more than that, but 35. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we'll call it even, right?
Oh,
yeah. Nice. So first deal, beautiful, right?
Right.
Now life is
during
good.
that. Go ahead.
First deal's beautiful. Life is good. You're excited.
I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And simultaneously, I had that deal, and then I had a manufactured home in a park. So it was like 2 mobile homes that I had kind of in the hopper,
right.
And then I closed them really at the same time.
Right. This
35K one was the one that I just turned and made money. The one in the park was the one I held. I still have to this day.
Okay.
And that's kind of where I got into you can sell them for cash, you can sell them for payments. This is great. Nobody's after mobile homes. So.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a nice little niche there if you can get into it. I mean, we just interviewed somebody else who's a mobile pro, but she is not the mobile home maven that you are. So
you're coming up with all these one-liners. I gotta start talking to you at 9 o'clock at night.
So all right, so mobile homes. I mean, it's it's not the strategy that most people go for. Why not?
I think it comes down to perception. When I first started, I kept this on the hush. I really didn't talk to too many people about it. I wasn't screaming from the rooftops that I was buying mobile homes. I didn't tell my friends that I was buying mobile homes because I didn't want that stigma. I mean, I had never lived in one. I thought that they were just ugly tin cans with wheels. Sure. I never read one.
Your buyers would love to know that you think they're ugly tin cans with wheels.
That is what I used to think. And if I can change, then anyone can. Yeah. Yes. But and the fact that there's just very little competition, and there's the lack of money to get into them. I didn't have money when I started. Yeah. So it just kind of all fell into place, and it's been quite a ride.
No, that's great. So. Mobiles. I mean, it's it's something people are pretty unfamiliar with. I'm thinking most folks. What strategies are available? I mean, is it can we buy mobiles with the same types of strategies that we can traditional homes? Are there additional strategies? Fill us in a little bit about that stuff.
Absolutely. You can use the same strategies that you're using to purchase traditional property. When it comes to manufactured homes that are attached to the land that they sit on. Yeah. You can also invest in manufactured homes in communities where you're not even owning the land. Yeah. You're basically just buying the 4 walls and the appliances and the AC and everything that goes along with it, and you're just reselling the home and not the land. So you can use all the same, you can use a lot of the same forms. You may have to get some things amended a little bit for manufactured housing, and depending on your state, you probably want to have everything reviewed. But the strategies, a lot of the strategies kind of morph right into manufactured homes. So nobody should be afraid about getting their hands on some.
So somebody could potentially even, and realizing that you really don't need a ton of money for mobile homes, but if somebody wanted to get started, they could even Birddog mobile homes potentially.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah. I talk to. Now I talk to everyone I know and all the investors I know, and I get leads coming to me from other investors, from Birddogs that I have. Yeah, and that's absolutely.
So absolutely. What do you tell somebody? Because I think a lot of new investors, whether it be because of an area or because of a strategy, a lot of new guys think, well, I can't tell people about this strategy. I need to be hush. I need to really keep this on the DL because, people are going to start coming in. The opinion of Mr. Fedro here clearly is the more people you talk to, the more opportunities. Is that correct?
Yeah, investing shouldn't be a lone wolf activity. Yeah. It's it's a pack activity. The more people that you get on your power team, the more people that you talk to, the more people that know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's just more business for everyone. And there's more than enough deals out there for a lot of people. So that is what you just said, though. That was so true.
Yeah.
That people are just cutting each other's throat and keeping on to the best secrets themselves, and they want to keep everything hush hush.
There's no secrets in real estate.
There's no secrets between friends.
But you're not my friend, John.
Yeah, not anymore. You keep talking like that.
but seriously, in terms of newer investors, I think it's a pretty important point to harp on. A lot of guys are really timid and afraid. At least from what I've seen, to talk about their experience and talk about these things for fear that somebody's going to come and undercut their turf, or somebody's going to try and take them out. And what do you say to that guy?
Well, I think that guy doesn't know how to properly, isn't confident in his business.
Yeah.
He's only one secret or two secrets away from being just like the next guy, the guy that he doesn't want to tell his secrets to. Sure. I'll tell people my secrets because over the past 9 years, I've been able to develop my skills and develop how I have like everything down in my business to a science. I know when I'm going to say it. I know how I'm going to say it. So I'll tell you everything, but you don't have the same rapport as I do. You don't have the same way of speaking.
Right.
And to be honest with you, sellers have a couple different types of personality, and my personality type might not jive with one seller, whereas someone else's might jive with them, and they could close the deal and I couldn't. And to be honest with you, as long as the seller sells the home, they get the price that they want, I'm happy. I think that's what it comes down to. The person that doesn't want to share their secrets, they just have those couple secrets, and then they're just out of business. Yeah. And I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. And we're back with John Fedro, JFed, otherwise BiggerPockets.com/users/John Fedro. Hey, John. So we were just talking about, all sorts of mobile-y, homey type of things, manufactured-y, homey stuff. And you had mentioned that you've used various different strategies and things like that. I was thinking maybe you can tell us about your favorite.
Sure. Well, with most properties on land, whenever I'm purchasing the deal, it's majority of time it's going to be some sort of owner financing.
Okay.
And taking the property subject, if there is an existing mortgage, to the existing mortgage.
Okay. So, and you mentioned that stuff earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I know what these things are, but there are people who are watching who may not know how exactly that works. So maybe you can kind of walk us through one of a sub two or one of these instances.
Yeah, sure. That's exactly what I can do. Well, whenever I go to a seller's home, I want them to honestly know all of their strategies and know all their options. And a lot of the times, if I think that they can resell the home through a realtor, then I'll tell them, listen, do that, and and then call me if that doesn't work. But how I'm actually purchasing homes, a lot of times on land, it will be, if there's an existing mortgage, anybody that owns a property, there's a deed to the property, typically that shows whose name's on the mortgage, or who's on title, and then there's a mortgage showing who's responsible for the loan. Well, when I take a property subject to, I'm purchasing the deed to that property and putting it into my corporate name, but I'm leaving the mortgage in the seller's name. Yeah. And then if they have any equity in the home, because there's a lot of manufactured homes on land that have equity in them, because during the 2000s, when everybody was pulling money out of their homes and using their homes like an ATM machine, whenever the price rose, it's manufactured homeowners were hard pressed to do that. So a lot of people I talk to, they do have equity in their homes. So if a seller has a mortgage, I'll take that subject to the mortgage, and then they may want some equity to move. So I can give them a couple $1,000s. I can perhaps make them payments until I reach the point of how much equity I want to give them. Sure. And then as long as it works out to where I can, my exit strategy 9 times out of 10 is to sell the home, but collect a move-in fee and then monthly payments for the life of the existing loan. Okay. So 10, 20 years on land or more.
Yeah.
For payments and then money down. So it's just a all around win-win-win. The seller gets to sell, they're happy, and then I'm happy, and the buyer's happy.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. How many deals have you done, man? I mean, we're talking at you. You sound like you know what you're talking about, but you look like you're 15, 16 maybe.
Yeah, good looks here. I shaved just for you too.
Fantastic.
We over 120 deals. I don't know the exact number.
Sure.
Started back in 2002. Okay. There were months. Well, actually, it was kind of like a year and a half phase when I was doing 4 deals a month, averaging four deals a month.
Okay.
Some of those hold, some of those turns. Some of them I was holding to keep, and some of them I was quick turning for fast profit.
Sure.
And then I kind of slowed down since. But yeah, so over the course of the last 9 years, about 10 deals a year.
Oh, that's great. Now tell me. I think there was a story we had talked about where you were like, you were thrown up at the parking lot of a mobile home. You were so scared. Or there was something, I mean, we all have our stories, right? So
I should just stop the recording right there, and then people will be like, what was that story?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so bad. What it was the second deal I was doing.
Yeah.
I had these kind of 2 in the hopper, the one on land, which I met the guy in the meeting, which was easy. And then the one where I was actually going to the guy's home to talk to the seller. And again, this was 9 years ago, and I look 16 now. I mean, when I had pimples on my face. I was driving this old, beat-up Ford Escort.
Sure.
And I'm coming to their home. Hey, I'm a real estate investor. I'm going to solve all of your problems.
Sure.
So I was trying to stay positive. I think I had, some sort of music that I liked. I was jamming, trying to get all hyped up and amped. But then when I was 30 seconds away from the home, I could actually see the home at the end of this road in the park. Yeah. And my nerves got the best of me. I didn't know what I was going to do. My mind went blank. Even right now when I'm talking about it, I'm getting chills. So I got just literally ill, and I had to pull over, and I got sick on the side of the road. And that's always going to be a story that I remember, because it was at that point that was like I had to make a huge decision. Do I keep going? I wanted to stop. Right. I mean, I was dirty. I was filthy. My breath wasn't the best. Even more reasons now why I should turn around. But I didn't. Like I said before, I went to that home. I got that deal, and I still have it today, and it's cash flowing me still. So.
I wonder what this guy who's selling his house is thinking, seeing, forget the car, but seeing this kid walk up, who's clear. I mean, there's no way to clean that off your breath. Clearly you read.
Like he must need this home more than I do. That's why what he was.
Maybe he felt so bad for you that he's like, just get him out of my house.
I got that place for such an amazing deal, which. Yeah. Typically, I mean, it's really not an amazing deal. It's kind of standard. Yeah. But at the time, it was an amazing deal.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. No, that's a fun story. Do you have any others? I mean, any other, good, cool, fun? I mean, the reason we're doing these interviews is twofold. Threefold. First, we're looking to introduce people to some of our community, some of the investors and faces and names, and we want you guys to be known a little bit. Second, we're hoping to educate people, trying to fill them with some good info. And third, I think really give an idea of the life of an investor, right? What is it like? What are things like for you? What's a mobile guy? What's a commercial guy deal with? Maybe you could kind of, I don't know, just tell us a little bit about your kind of your day-to-day, when you were doing those 10 deals a year, or whatever, 12 deal, whatever it was, what was life like, or what is it like?
Yeah, even today, today it's the same, but just back when I was doing 4 deals a month, it was a lot more chaos, or organized chaos. Right now, I'm making offers every single day. Yeah. What was the question?
It was really long. I got lost, so I don't know.
Okay. As far as trying to remain on track here, making offers every single day. Sure. Work a couple hours every single day. Love what I'm doing. You talked about a story. Any other cool stories?
I was basically talking about what. Give me the day-to-day life. I asked you like 6 things. So
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk, and you can just edit together how you like.
No. Okay. How about really quick? Give me in like a minute. What is your day like? In 1 minute.
My day.
Yeah.
Get up. Talk to all the sellers that I didn't talk to the previous day,
Yeah.
make offers over the phone, go to any appointments that I need to that day.
Yep.
I'm usually done by that. I'm usually done by 1 o'clock that,
Okay.
and then the rest of the day is devoted to helping coaching students, and then anything else that I like doing, basketball, relaxing.
Life of leisure.
Yeah. What?
With your what?
What was your?
The
what'd you
life
say?
of
My
leisure.
vision?
Yeah.
Yes.
With your
I just got
Bentleys.
back from a great trip to Vancouver and touring kind of the Canada area.
That's great.
That was. I mean, I've never been up there.
Canada is a whole country.
It is right above the United States.
Yeah.
Next, look
I've
up.
seen it on the map once or twice. Fun story. Tell us your favorite real estate story besides the puking in the car bit.
I think this is a story. This is an ongoing story, and I think it can help a lot of the viewers watching. I'm usually not one of the first people to go see a home, whether it's a manufactured home or a traditional home.
Yeah.
But I typically am. If there's a deal to be closed, I will close it. And again, here's the story. When I go to people's homes, they tell me, like who's been there, what other investors, what
Sure.
kind of offers they've made, and then they tell me because of the amount of offers that I give them and how friendly that you are.
Yeah.
They go through me and I give them like 2 or 3 other offers that they've never even heard of, or the other investors didn't even pitch to them.
Right.
So that little fun fact is something that I try to tell people and hope
Yeah.
it kind of hits home with them that as an investor, you're there to solve the seller's problem. I mean, if you don't do that,
Yep.
if you're not making a seller happy, you can be as happy as you want, but you're not going to get that deal.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a little fun story that even to this day, even last week, seller told me that.
That's great. So you are the mobile home maestro, aka the closer, right?
Mobile home maestro.
Yeah, yeah.
Not close, the curtain drops and I'm.
Yeah. No, but that's great. It's great advice. I think I think it behooves anybody watching to pay attention to that because if you're familiar with a wide variety of strategies, you can offer a wide variety of options to investors to sellers that other investors may not have done. And then to your other point, I'd say that being fair and being there as somebody to solve their problems. A lot of people don't look at it that way. They look at it like, hey, how can I profit? How can I make money off this guy? And those are the guys that don't really get to that level of success, I believe, that folks with your attitude and your mentality do.
I completely agree. And they're the ones that didn't get the deal.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Exactly. Fantastic. Well, we're running out of time.
Okay.
This clearly is the lighthearted interview of the decade for anybody watching. If this is the only one you've seen, you probably won't watch again. But I think John and I, we're able to share. I think there's enough quality info here. I do want to give you the opportunity to plug. I know you're doing some new stuff. You're taking what you've learned and now you're coaching. Yeah.
Yeah. I carry on the same mindset, whereas I want anybody that I do coach to succeed, and I'm with them one-on-one, hands-on-hand, not actually physically there, but even helping to make a phone call or talking to sellers or something on their behalf. This business is easy. Anyone can do it, or not. Well, anybody with the drive can. Yeah. I teach people within 12 weeks how to purchase and resell manufactured homes the same way I learned by doing. And you want more info? RealestateCashFlowFormula.com.
What was that website? It was really short, so
I'll sing it for you, maestro style. It's the RealestateCashFlowFormula.com.
RealestateCashFlowFormula.com. John Fedro. It's honestly, it's been the most fun of my interviews. No offense to anyone else that I've already interviewed. I hope we continue down this path. But it's a pleasure. Maybe we can talk again and get into some other strategies potentially for some other interviews.
I'm an open book for you always.
And it's been great. Any other ways people can get in touch with you? Twitter, Facebook, anything like that?
All those.
All those.
Yep. Just look it up. There's very few John Fedros.
Great. And again, I'm BiggerPockets. It's biggerpockets.com/users/John Fedro.
Yes.
My friend, it's been fun. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Josh.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Take care.